Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about what does the narcissist do once they know that you figured them out? Well, narcissists hate when you are able to see through the mask. What are they going to do? They're going to run. That's what a lot of them are going to do. Narcissists, especially the covert narcissists, when they realize that you figured them out, the first thing they're going to do is run to everybody else, run to the flying monkeys, run to everybody else and try to discredit you because they live in fear you're going to expose them. So they will always gaslight you. They will always lie to you, and they will most definitely want to discredit you and tell everybody else that, you're unstable, you have mental issues, because they don't want anybody to be able to, see them for who they are. So the only way they can, save themselves and save their image is to discredit you, because they live in fear of being exposed. So when they know that you figured them out, what a narcissist is going to do is a lot of times they're going to disappear, okay? Because they can't handle it. That's when the narcissist is going to be, they're going to run to another supply. This is what they'll do. They'll run to another supply because they know that once you see through them, the game over. The game is over once you see through them. Now they know that nothing they could do, no manipulation tricks are going to work on you, that you finally figured out the narcissist game. See, everything about a narcissist is games. They're all about playing games. The gaslighting, the blame shifting, straight out lying, everything is games. There's no transparency when you deal with a narcissist. Understand this. So when you stop defending yourself and you finally realize, hey, you know what? The problem isn't me. The problem is I'm dealing with a toxic person who's playing mind games on me. And the narcissist sees that you're not engaging anymore. You're backing off from them. When you back off from a narcissist, they automatically know that you have figured them out, okay? So they're going to want to save their reputation. And they're going to try to, like I said, they're going to try to run a smear campaign on you. They're going to talk badly about you to everybody else because they're afraid that you're going to get everybody else against them. So they've got to do damage control. So the minute they feel like you figured them out, they've got to make sure that nobody else believes you when you go and run to everybody and tell them that they are toxic, they're a liar, they're a gaslighter, they're a narcissist. They don't ever want to be seen for who they truly are, a toxic person. They live in fear of that. So the number one response for the narcissist is to run, okay? Call you crazy and then just flat out run, okay? But they don't just let it go. This is the thing. They don't just let it go. They want to make sure that they destroy you to everybody else. The other thing too is narcissists, once they realize that you figured them out, they automatically, like I said before, they automatically will shift to another supply and be working on somebody else who doesn't know what they are. So that's another reason that narcissists discard you, is because they see that you're starting to see through their game. They realize that, it's not working on you. You're no longer fighting. See, when you stop fighting with the narcissist and you're just like, you know what? They're toxic. The narcissist knows, and now they have to find a new person to manipulate. A narcissist always has to have somebody to manipulate in order to feel superior, in order to get over on someone, in order to use somebody. There's always got to be a victim somewhere. So once you see through the mask and you figured them out, now you have become like unimportant to the narcissist. Because they now, without manipulation, they'll never be able to get that supply out of you because now you see what they are. So, they may try to gaslight you initially. They may try to make you crazy initially. But when they see that doesn't work anymore, like not today, Satan, you're not going to make me think that there's something wrong with me. Then you automatically become a threat to the narcissist and they don't want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with you. They're going to smear you to everybody else. And they're going to keep their distance. That's what they're going to do. They're going to keep their distance because they're afraid of what you could do. And, the biggest thing that you could do to hurt a narcissist, besides trying to get them in trouble with the law and all of that and the authorities, is to expose them to everybody else and to ruin their reputation. That would crush a narcissist, to have their reputation ruined by you, okay? And it also, they never ever want you to think that you're better than them. So, like I said, they'll do the damage control to try to discredit your mental state so that nobody believes you. That's what they want. They don't want anybody to believe you. So, like I said, when you figured out the narcissist and they realize that you figured them out, it's game over for the narcissist with you. It's absolutely game over. And a lot of them will even get angry about it and will seek revenge. Okay, they'll seek revenge for the fact that you're starting to see through them. They want to cause problems for you. And they're mad. They're mad because they lost that supply. They can no longer get the supply out of you. You're too smart for the narcissist. This also, you guys, could be a reason why a narcissist may not return. Not all narcissists return. Most of them do. Okay, most of them will try you, but what they do is they give it time. They wait a while before they come back, in hoping that you forget about it or you let things go. So they may try to, come back. Even if you expose them, they could wait a while and come back. People have told me, the narcissist, they couldn't believe they would come back. And it's happened to me. They could come back. They don't care. But keep in mind, if they are coming back and you had exposed them, they're coming back because they're desperate and they need something out of you. And they won't bring up the original argument that you had with them. They're going to totally want to sweep that under the rug. They're not going to bring it up. And they're going to, just come back as nothing. See, narcissists, they also think that they're so clever. They're so smart. They're smarter than you. They're overconfident. They feel that they had you hooked at one time. They'll have you hooked again, okay? That maybe you'll let it go. This happens all the time in toxic relationships. People have an argument, then they break up, and then the narcissist comes back, is okay for a little while, then, pulls their games, and then you break up again, and they feel they could just love bomb, and repeat the cycle. But when they deal with something, what the narcissist doesn't realize is that not everybody is going to let them back into their lives, okay? Sometimes people are just like, they've had enough. They've had enough, or they remember the abuse, or they've gone through therapy, or they've educated themselves on narcissism, and they say, you know what? Not today, Satan. I've had enough of this nonsense. You're not ever coming back into my life. I'll never give you another chance. And the reason why is because those people are the ones that realize that the narcissist is never going to change, that this is their basic character. And I personally have yet to see a narcissist ever change, okay? Because a narcissist, they always make it somebody else's problem. It's never their problem. And a lot of times they don't have to change, because if they don't deal with you, they'll deal with somebody else. It's as simple as that. And especially today, with all the supply that's out there, they can do that, all right? Because what you may offer, they may be able to get it from somebody else. And so you're just an object, a source of supply to a narcissist. They don't have their feelings, their emotions all into it. This is what people don't realize. Go listen to my older podcast about the intent of the narcissist. The narcissist's intent is not the same as yours. They went in temporarily. They may have been lusting after you. They may have saw a supply of money after you, a place to live, and they just used you till as long as they could use you. And then when it gets to a point where you figured them out, now they know they can't use you anymore. They go use somebody else, and then they come back. This is the cycle of the narcissist, to bounce from one to the other, back, recycle their exes. And that's how they do it. But what they don't realize is that a lot of people are not going to let them back in, okay? once you step on certain people, it's a done deal. This is how narcissists lose. They lose good people. They lose good supply. People that would have done anything for the narcissist, now they won't do anything for them, okay? They won't do anything for that. They won't even entertain a phone call with them because of what they've done, all right? And this is where the narcissist loses out. But what they do is they keep going, keep networking, to keep that supply going, that attention going, That's why they're always in inboxing all the time, on Facebook Messenger, on Instagram, on all the different social media platforms, on the dating apps. They always want to make sure that somebody is around. Narcissists don't want to be alone. It's like death to a narcissist. So trust and believe that by the time that you have figured out that narcissist, they saw the crumbling of the relationship already, and they had somebody. So by the time you figured them out, they're not going to worry about it too much because they've seen that you're starting to pull away, and they've got somebody else to fill in that void that you once had. All right. And this is one of the things that I have a problem with some of the narc abuse influencers that out there, that falsely tell you what you want to hear just to get views on their reels and videos. They'll tell you, well, you're the one, that got away and everything like that. Understand this. Narcissists, if they could replace you with somebody else, they are not going to sweat it. They will, there is no the one that got away with a narcissist, because they don't ever want to become too close to somebody and ever feel that kind of vulnerability. So no, you're not going to be the one that got away, because the narcissist never fully attached to you. This is what people don't realize. The narcissist never fully attached to you. So that's why they can discard you so coldly. So it's misinformation to go out and tell people, oh, the narcissist is going to be crying over you. The narcissist is going to be upset over you. The narcissist is going to be upset of whatever they may have lost from you. But if they can replace it, they're not going to worry about it. That's how cold these people are, because they never fully attached to you. So they're not going to crumble the way you would crumble, or somebody else who has empathy, who has feelings, who is in it emotionally. The narcissist is not in it emotionally. So they're not going to, fall to pieces. So that's what it is, you guys. When you figured them out, it's game over. The narcissist moves on to another person. Temporarily, they may come back. They may not come back. It depends on their situation, how they're doing, how their life is going. If they need you and they're desperate, they may try you, but they'll be sure to give it a lot of time. And, that's what it is. They realize that once you figure them out, they've got to lay low for a while, give it time, and they may come back if they need you. If they don't need you, you may not hear from that narcissist, all right? You may not hear from that narcissist, but they can pop up at any time. They could pop up years later. Don't be shocked if you get a text or a phone call from a narcissist years later, okay? Because narcissists are ballsy like that and will try people, just to try them. They don't care. If you have something or had something that they used or needed at a time, they may just, they may try you, okay? They could most definitely try you. So that's what happens, you guys, when you figured out the narcissist. So once you figured out who they are, totally go no contact, disengage, understand that this person is a time waster. They will waste your time, waste your life. And, they're not serious. They're not serious. So you don't want to have to look back on your life and regret and say, why did I give my time to somebody who wasn't serious the way I was serious? Your time is valuable. You will never get that time back in your life. And you don't realize it till you get older. When you get older, you're going to look back on that relationship with that narcissist and you're going to say, why didn't I leave sooner? Okay? But you've got to forgive yourself and say to yourself, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. But now I know. Now I know. So that's what happens, you guys, when you've figured out the narcissist. And like I said, some of them may even try to seek revenge because they're angry because you're too smart for them. So they will try to hurt you, to try to put you down. You know, usually that's by a smear campaign. That's what they love, the smear campaign, because they're worried about the exposure, and also they want to hurt you, to discredit you and run a character assassination on you. So I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. I have limited time, so check it out. If you're confused, you don't know if they're a narcissist, what kind of narcissist, and you need clarity, you need advice, check it out. Also, check out, you guys, my YouTube. I lay it down on YouTube. Over 6,000 videos on everything I put on there. A lot on reverse discard, covert narcissists, the mind games they play, the blame shifting, the word salad, all their little manipulation tricks. Check out my YouTube because I lay it down on there. And TikTok is The Game Exposed. And Instagram, you guys, is The Game EXP123. And Facebook temporarily is The Game EXP777. And have a great day.